It will come when you least expect it, so make sure you are prepared. At some point, that nosy sicko who has been focusing their attention on your life from a distance will make their move. They will show up at your home without your permission and without your consent, wearing fake tears as if they were a carefully selected accessory. This visit is not a spontaneous occurrence. Rather, it is planned. When their shady strategies of gathering information and spreading stories are no longer effective, they will have no choice but to confront you personally in order to face their own darkness. A theatrical performance that is geared to manipulate will cause the tears to flow when the command is given. Behind the tears in their eyes is their genuine objective, which is to kiss your behind, to utter whatever nice things are required to regain entrance to your world, and to wiggle their way back into situations where they can continue their intrusive conduct. The look of desperation that can be seen in their eyes, a desire that cannot be satiated, will allow you to identify them. Their shadow has expanded to the point where it is impossible to conceal it, which has forced them into the light of your doorway, where they are prepared to use every scheme of deception in their armory. The person who is behind those crocodile tears and empty apologies is a nosy sicko who is unable to accept that their chapter in your tale has come to an end. Remain attentive when that knock comes, and remember what is behind those phrases. They are making their return. The energy vampires who used to feast on your light are now starving because their source of sustenance has disappeared because you have climbed above their frequency. Currently, they are looking for ways to reconnect with your energy field in an extremely desperate manner. As a result of your ascent to higher vibrations, these parasitic creatures, who are posing as friends, lovers, family members, or co-workers, are going to have to face a reckoning. Due to the fact that they have been abandoned in their own darkness, they are now forced to confront the void that they have created inside themselves. They have been mistaking your glow for their own for an excessively long time. They have appropriated your achievements, taken in your happiness, and positioned themselves in such a way that they appear enlightened without producing any light of their own. Nonetheless, the space that separates you has grown to be too great. It is no longer possible for them to feed from a distance because your energy signature has changed. This kind of isolation was purposefully brought about by the universe. You are not witnessing a coincidence. Rather, you are receiving protection from the cosmos. They are experiencing the repercussions of this spiritual famine as a result of the inherent rules of energy that have placed you outside their reach. Be on the lookout for the following indications. Someone is making preparations to return to your life, and they will be bringing with them a variety of strategies to manipulate your emotions. The two of them have been keeping a watchful eye from the shadows, attempting to determine the ideal time to re-establish a link. This individual is a manifestation of the opposite energy, which is chaotic, ungrounded, and manipulating. However, they lack the integrity to match their words with actions. Despite the fact that they are adept with words, their thoughts are disorganized, their intentions are tainted, and their approach will be as unexpected as it is undesirable. From a distance, they have attempted to infiltrate your energetic field, but they have been unsuccessful. The stories that they have disseminated have not had any effect on you, and the knowledge that they have obtained has not provided them with any power over you. All of their previous attempts to regain control through indirect means have been unsuccessful, leaving them with only one choice: to engage in direct confrontation. This is not about making amends or expressing true regret. Rather, it is about restoring access when appropriate. You have prevented them from being able to drain your energy, and they are frantically trying to force back the door that you have shut. Due to the fact that they are unable to produce it on their own, they require what you have. Their existence at this particular moment is not a coincidence. They are aware of your ongoing development, your growing success, and your growing sense of calm. Their desperation is triggered by these accomplishments because they bring to light the things that they do not possess. In spite of the fact that they are aware of it, your brightness makes their darkness more obvious. Let's take a closer look at what makes this individual tick. This individual is not only someone who wants to be with you, rather, they are an opportunistic entity that views you as a resource that can be utilized for their own benefit. Rather than being genuine, their empathy is always a performance. Despite the fact that they study human emotion in order to effectively imitate it, their tears are not expressions of genuine feeling, but rather tactical weapons. By practicing their stories in front of a mirror, they have perfected the quiver in their voice, the right moment to lose eye contact, and the vulnerable gesture that is intended to disarm you. It is highly likely that their approach will be unexpected. They may show up at your residence, your place of employment, or other locations that they are aware you frequent. This intentional breach of bounds violates the boundaries. This is a test to determine whether or not your defenses are still strong, or whether there is a vulnerability that they can take advantage of. They are not interested in mending the connection. Rather, they are interested in re-establishing the energetic link that they formerly used to drain you. This is the secret purpose that lies behind every attempt at reconciliation. On the other hand, every promise is a trap, every remembrance is a lure, and every apology is a hook. Because of their skewed perspective on the world, they are unable to accept your independence, which puts their behavior on the verge of being stalking. It is not accurate to say that you are an extension of them or a battery that they have become accustomed to. They have the misconception that they are entitled to your energy, which makes your independence seem like a form of robbery to them. Take note of the way in which they observe your life from a distance, engaging in activities such as gathering information, monitoring your social media, and interrogating others you know about your activities. What you are doing is not interest, it is surveillance. Changes in your life that they can utilize as entry points when they occur are what they are searching for. They are looking for places of weakness. In order to demonstrate that they have been keeping an eye on you, they will come bearing presents of your favorite things and will discuss information about your life that you have never shared with them. This is not an example of thinking. Rather, it points to an invasion. Do not give dogs what is holy. Do not throw your pearls before swine, or they will trample them underfoot and turn to attack you. Matthew 7:6. Imagine a shepherd standing watch over his flock at night. The fields stretch wide, the stars burn bright, and in the distance, wolves lurk just beyond the tree line. The shepherd knows the wolves are hungry. He knows they will test the fence, prowling along the edges, looking for a weak spot. But the shepherd does not panic. He does not waste his time trying to reason with the wolves, trying to make them understand why they must stay away. He knows their nature. He knows their intent. So, he strengthens the fence. He stands firm. He remains vigilant. Beloved, you are that shepherd, and your boundaries are the fence that protects your peace, your purpose, and your anointing. The wolves, they are the ones who have fed off your kindness, manipulated your love, and taken from your spirit without ever giving in return. They see the light within you, not because they love it, but because they need it. They need your energy, your presence, your guidance, but not to be healed, not to be transformed. No, they only seek to consume. That is why now, more than ever, your boundaries must be impermeable. This is not about forgiveness. This is not about compassion. This is about self-preservation. This is about knowing that some people, no matter how much you have loved them, no matter how much you have prayed for them, are not meant to walk this next part of the journey with you. And you will feel it before you know it. Your spirit will sound the alarm before your mind even has a chance to form the words. The knot in your stomach, the tightness in your chest, the sudden drain of energy. These are not random feelings. These are not coincidences. These are your spiritual defenses, your God-given warning system telling you that danger is near. Pay attention. Trust the signals. Do not be deceived by smooth words, by false apologies, by manipulative tears. The enemy knows how to disguise itself in familiarity. It comes as a friend, a lover, a long-lost family member. It comes with stories of regret, with promises of change, with confessions of how much they've missed you. But make no mistake, what they miss is access to you. What they regret is losing control over you. What they want is to break through your defenses and reattach themselves to your life. If your heart overflows with God's blessings, let that love shine. Click the super thank you button and give $20 or more to plant seeds of faith that will impact countless lives. Your generosity reflects His abundance. Be a vessel of His grace and watch His kingdom flourish through you. Do not let them in. Do not explain yourself. Do not justify your decisions. Do not feel the need to soften the truth to make them more comfortable. Every word you offer them is another thread for them to weave into a trap. Every explanation is another hook for them to latch onto. Silence will be your greatest strength. And if their actions go beyond unwanted communication, if they show up at your door unannounced, if they refuse to leave when asked, then you must be prepared to act. You are not being dramatic. You are not being cold-hearted. You are protecting what God has given you. If necessary, involve the authorities. If needed, document every interaction. If the situation escalates, a restraining order may be required. Some battles are not fought with words. Some battles are won by standing firm, by refusing to engage, by guarding the gates of your peace with unshakable resolve. And make no mistake, they are counting on you to waver. They are relying on your kindness. They are banking on your natural tendency to forgive, to see the best in people, to avoid conflict. And while these qualities are what make you beautiful, in this situation, they are also what make you vulnerable. You cannot save someone who refuses to be saved. You cannot heal someone who thrives in their brokenness. You cannot be a source of light for someone who is determined to stay in the shadows. Some people are not looking for redemption. They are looking for an opportunity to sneak back in, to reclaim a place in your life, to feed off your energy once more. But beloved, you have outgrown them. Your spirit has ascended beyond their reach. The separation was not an accident. It was divine intervention. Do not grieve what God has removed. Do not question the distance that heaven has ordained. This is your season of elevation, and elevation always comes with separation. Not everyone can go where you are going. Not everyone is meant to sit at your table. And the ones who are trying to return, they were not part of your future to begin with. So strengthen your boundaries. Let your silence speak louder than any argument. Keep your peace guarded like a sacred temple, because the wolves will always come, prowling, testing, waiting for a weak moment. But you, beloved, you are not weak. You are the shepherd of your own soul, and your fence will hold. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click Join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. Leave a remark with the phrase, "My boundaries are non-negotiable," if you are determined to safeguard your energy to the fullest extent possible. Their desires are not the same as what they will profess to want. Let us interpret their remarks that are likely to be true into their genuine intentions. When they say, "I've changed," they mean, "I've changed tactics." When they say, "I miss you," they mean, "I miss what I could take from you." When they say, "I've been thinking about you," they mean, "I've been obsessing over how to regain access to you." When they say, "I just want to talk," they mean, "I want to re-establish an energetic connection I can exploit." And when they say, "You misunderstood my intentions," they mean, "My manipulation wasn't subtle enough last time." Their primary aim is to slow down your progress. The separation between your vibrations is growing wider as a result of your expansion, which poses a threat to them. Your every advance serves as a constant reminder of their inability to move forward. They hope that by injecting instability, doubt, and emotional anguish into your life, they will be able to pull you back to the earth and bring you within reach. They are going to make an effort to harvest your energy by eliciting emotional responses such as wrath, guilt, pity, and nostalgia. Any powerful feeling that is focused toward them generates an energetic link that they may work with. It makes no difference to them whether your response is positive or negative. What matters is that it is intense. Using the victim narrative as their primary weapon will be their strategy. Putting themselves in a position where they are hurt, misunderstood, or abandoned allows them to dodge accountability while simultaneously throwing the responsibility of finding a solution on you. This twisting of culpability is an example of gaslighting at its most subtle and deceptive. In the case of certain individuals, the revived interest may be a result of financial reasons. Your success symbolizes resources they want to access, opportunities they want to exploit, and connections they want to utilize. As your star rises, they see potential material gains that could be gained from reconnecting with you. This recurrence is not occurring at random. Rather, it is occurring at this time for particular reasons that are in alignment with your spiritual journey. The sharp contrast that has been produced as a result of your recent personal development is something that they cannot bear to see. They have either remained in a state of stagnation or have plunged further into their lower vibrations while you have been making progress in growing, healing, and ascending. This difference has become so evident that it compels them to either confront their shadow or to make a valiant effort to bring you back down to their level. Due to the fact that you have altered your energetic signature via the process of inner work, boundary establishing, and conscious evolution, they are no longer able to sustain themselves off of your energy from a distance. Because the frequencies are no longer compatible, it is difficult for them to engage in remote vampirism. Your accomplishments serve as a mirror, reflecting back to them everything that they have been unable to develop or achieve in their lives. Instead of using this reflection as a source of inspiration for their own personal development, they are focused on shattering the mirror by causing disruptions to your peace of mind. As you free yourself from old patterns, limiting beliefs, and harmful connections, they experience a greater sense of loss of control, which in turn causes their desperation to increase in direct proportion to your release. Because of your independence, they are unable to escape the destructive cycles that they have created for themselves. This clash has been the final test before a complete energy separation, similar to the final push that an immune system makes to get rid of a pathogen. The universe has manufactured this confrontation. The pinnacle of your spiritual purification process is this encounter, and how you handle it will determine whether the separation will be total or whether remnants of the link will continue to exist. It is imperative that you respond strategically rather than reactively when the confrontation that is unavoidable takes place. It is important to have an emotional distance throughout the discussion. Examine their strategies as if you were watching a movie rather than taking part in a drama. As a result of this separation, they are unable to form energetic hooks through the practice of emotional triggering. It is important to recognize the manipulation as it is taking place. Pay attention to the subtle shifts in tone, the strategic placement of pauses, and the carefully chosen words that are intended to elicit particular responses. You can lessen the power that these strategies have over you by naming them internally. You should exercise the same level of attention in protecting your physical space as you do in protecting your energetic space. You should not invite them into your home or meet in private areas. Instead, select public locations that have plenty of witnesses and exits that are easily accessible in order to ensure both physical and psychological safety. When you are having a discussion, you should have faith in the intuitive flashes that come to you. These flashes may include a quick vision, a random memory, or a word that comes into your consciousness. You are receiving warnings from your higher self that your conscious mind has not yet understood. These messages are a warning of peril. Instead of concentrating on refuting their story or defending yourself, you should ensure that your attention is directed toward the ongoing process of personal development. Because their emergence is merely a momentary disruption and not a new direction, you should respond appropriately to it. Do not give in to the temptation to assist, heal, or save them. The responsibility for their shadow work is with them, not with you. If you make any attempt to direct their healing process, all you will accomplish is to re-establish the energetic link that they are looking for. It is important to refrain from disclosing any personal information regarding your current life, projects, relationships, or spiritual practices. Each piece of information becomes a possible entry point that they can go on to exploit in the future. Keep in mind that closure is a process that occurs within you and is not something that can be given to you by another person. If you are trying to find a solution through this conversation, you are opening the door for someone to manipulate you. After gaining an awareness of what lies in store for these energy vampires, there is a certain cosmic justice. For as long as they continue to fight against their shadow work without having access to your energy, they will continue to experience a growing number of failures and setbacks. They are unable to maintain the artificial success that they have constructed by stealing your light. Their foundations will betray their fragility as genuine problems come up. When their deceptive strategies fail to succeed on those around them, it is inevitable that they will experience issues in their personal and financial lives. Their support network eventually disintegrates as their actual character becomes increasingly obvious as a result of their desperation, leaving them to confront the repercussions of their actions without any buffers to protect them. The universe compels them to confront the very issues that they have been avoiding. By feeding off of other people, the pain that they have failed to handle, the growth that they have rejected, and the accountability that they have avoided. Whenever they are no longer able to divert their attention with your energy, everything comes tumbling down behind them. Karma is not a form of punishment. Rather, it is a form of equilibrium. Each and every one of the ill intents that they have directed toward other people comes back to them with mathematical precision. The manipulation that they have planted will eventually be repaid to them in the form of manipulation. Depletion in their own lives is a manifestation of the draining that they have inflicted on others. The patterns that you noticed a long time ago are starting to become more apparent to other people as their genuine nature becomes more transparent. The more people who adopt the restrictions that you pioneered, the more isolated they become among the group. It's not a form of retribution. Rather, it's the inevitable result of the decisions they made. Your road forward is unobstructed and secure, despite the fact that they are attempting to drive you backward towards the past. This confrontation, despite the fact that it is difficult, serves your ultimate good by providing closure and validating your spiritual judgment. You are surrounded by protective forces that acknowledge your genuine intention to develop and assist others. The lesser vibrations that are attempting to impede your growth are impeded by these forces, which build buffers between you and them. The coincidences that prevent undesired contacts, the abrupt changes in plans that redirect you away from their attempts to connect, and the intuitive warnings that assist you avoid their traps, are all things that you should pay attention to for a number of reasons. Your own path and purpose will become more powerful with each barrier that you continue to uphold. When you make the decision to prioritize your highest good over a duty that is prompted by guilt, you enhance the energetic signature that is responsible for repelling these vampire-like beings. Due to the fact that you have acquired the ability to safeguard your energy, your success continues while also growing. You are now investing the resources that you once used to sustain poisonous connections in your own personal development, the abilities that you possess, and the service that you provide to the world. This rerouting of energy results in a substantial increase in returns. The resilience you exhibit in preserving boundaries serves as an inspiration to those who are traveling down an identical route. Through your example, you are granting those individuals who are still involved with energy vampires the permission to prioritize their own well-being and spiritual development. As we come to the end of this chapter, it is important to keep in mind that the presence of this individual signifies the final test that must be passed before release from all previous patterns. Their attempt to reconnect is not evidence that you have failed to detach. Rather, it is indication that you have been successful in doing so. They wouldn't be making such a fervent effort to restore a connection if your energetic separation wasn't already completed to a significant degree. Consider this experience to be the immune system of the universe working on your behalf, bringing to the surface any attachments that are still there so that they can be released consciously and totally. This is not a setback. Rather, it is the final purification that must be completed before reaching a new level of freedom. When that knock comes at your door, when that message shows in your inbox, and when that coincidental meeting takes place in a public place, you should be resolute in the knowledge that you are being presented with an opportunity to demonstrate to yourself how far you have come. It is not enough to simply decline their advances. Rather, you must demonstrate that you are dedicated to achieving the highest possible level of progress. The inquisitive sicko, who is standing at your doorstep while wearing fake tears, is actually presenting you with a gift, the opportunity to choose yourself one last time with perfect clarity and conviction. You should accept this gift by preserving your boundaries, showing respect for your journey, and carrying on with your journey without allowing their attempts to deplete your glorious light, to impede your progress. No energy vampire, regardless of how desperate or determined they may be, can alter the fact that your energy is sacrosanct, that your calm is non-negotiable, and that your path is safeguarded.